February 18th, Val sees trouble for Putin.
These are attacks. This looks kind of dangerous.
But world headlines suggest otherwise and a possible truce. Astrology says think again.
Third house. We're talking about vehicles with like bombs and local attacks that are coming. And something's being planned for sure.
3 weeks later, a shocked Moscow gets pummeled by a deadly drone attack. March 3rd, Val reviews Putin's upcoming troubles.
It's like a bomb or something, or it could be something of value that is being struck. So it's like Medusa strikes. This is like off with your head type of energy. It's also very secret because Uranus is in the 12th house. It's impossible to see this, but it is a revenge strike like you have not seen. It's a horrible failure.
Join us for more world predictions with Astrologer Val Evans tonight.
Hello, everyone. It is Val Evans, and thanks for joining me. Is there going to be a change coming? That's what I'd like to know. So we're going to pull some cards and we're going to look at some charts. Let's talk about World War III. Let's get right to the heart of it. What is the situation with a potential World War III in the next 3 months? Queen of Cups. Seems like a positive one, doesn't it? Seems like a yes, but could it have something to do with a female? Maybe a queen of some sort. Is there a queen coming in? And we have 8 of Pentacles. So I want to say there might be some confusion in information and maybe more of an information war. What do you think? I've been getting 3 a lot. We've had 3 hikers that just died in a waterfall. We have 3 bombs that went off in Iran, and bunker bombs, which of course is Pisces. So bed, bunker bombs. And so seeing lots of 3s. So World War III, everybody wants to say the number 3. That's interesting. Angel Karmic Eyes here from New Zealand. What time is it over there? And Natalie, I hope the change is positive. It looks like something is happening. Somebody's really happy. I think it might be women. I keep getting that. And Amber, who is on here with me on Fridays on our show, World Predictions and Royal Revelations, she's been saying for the past 6 to 9 months something about women. So I think there could be some kind of regime change in Iran. I really do. I see there are some positive things coming ahead. What do the cards think? 6 of Pentacles. Seems like maybe something's being made worth the while of some leaders, maybe of Iran, or 6 of Pentacles. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is possibly positive for the Persians. I have quite a few Persian friends, and just hearing their life stories are just so sad because of the fact they can't go back. And is this going to be in the next 6 months with the way the politics are going? Is this going to be good news for the Persians? Knight of Cups. So there could be some good news. Could be something, and that's my good news card. That's weird. So that could be potentially good. There's always something that can be positive when we're talking about what everyone thinks is a disaster. So that's so crazy. It was 1333 here when you mentioned the 3s. Angel, you're thinking, what do you think? And Angel, you said, I get the impression that Trump made some agreements and now the kids are fighting again, taking their laptops next time, right? That's right, Kimberly. Oh my God, you've got a great memory. Although that was only yesterday when I was saying this and I can't remember, but 3 puppies, 3 children on the William birthday. Yes, the photo that was posted by Princess Catherine. So hello, Chantel. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we're talking about Barbie. It's funny, we're talking about ice Barbie a lot. So what's that? Saturn? Saturn is ice. Venus would be Barbie. And we're talking a lot about Saturn Venus lately, which is an older female. Um, so I don't know what that means. Hello, Jen. And Kimberly pulled 2 tarot cards that were 3. Natalie, good point. This is a dangerous disaster, though. And what did I think of the F bomb? Not impressed. It's so unrefined, isn't it? Unfortunately, we're going through kind of a crude era right now for a few countries, and we kind of just have to cringe and bear it. So, Insights with Nora. Nora's here. Thanks for joining us, Nora. And interested to hear what you think about the next 3 months. I want to get really into these next few weeks. Hopefully, it's not going to be like Ukraine and Russia, where it's back and forth and back and forth, and nobody knows what to think or believe. Okay. So here is the prediction chart for Tehran. And we're going to start on April 1st. Isn't it interesting that the ascendant, which shows the personality of the chart and of the year for the country itself, that started on April 1st, it's in Aquarius. So Aquarius represents change. Sometimes it can be very uncomfortable change. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Lord of Aquarius to see more information about the personality, the horoscope of the year. And that is going to be Uranus. Of course, it has to be right within 2 degrees of the Medusa degree. Very dangerous, but it's well aspected. And it has a really nice trine here. Wow, with Pluto, with part of fortune. So, and with the South Node, getting rid of things it needed to get rid of. Now, at first, I mean, we're in between April 1st, April, May, June. With all this Pisces, it makes me think of prisoners they're dealing with. It was a cluster up in that spring time frame. And if you're interested in pulling your own soul return chart, you can go to AstroSeek, and you can also Google AstroSeek and solar return chart, and this will pop up. Just make sure you put in your birth time and then click on the solar return year. So if you have not had your birthday this year, you're still going to be doing your 2024 chart, and then put the city that you had your birthday in and then calculate it. And you're going to click the solar only tab. All right, so here's a little bit better of a chart. So we've got Aquarius, Uranus is here in the 3rd house. The 3rd house is what everybody's talking about. And Uranus is change. It's good change for Iran. Now, whether the politics are really positive for other countries who are causing this change, that's a whole different story. But it certainly looks as if, with part of fortune here on, the end of this grand trine, it looks like swift change. And it's right about now. It's right as everything is happening. Uranus represents a bomb, but it's not really pointed to like a big group of people. So it does seem as if they were targeted. So now we're going to get into the July timeframe. And before, when all of the stuff was happening with Venus here, Venus is retrograde. So this would be that it would reflect that the country was very weak at this time. Pisces it represents assassinations, and it represents spies. So we're going to be hearing a lot about that. At least the Iranians might. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure what they could learn about. But what the information, it's online information. And it seems like a lot of people are able to get more information in this country than normal. And so interesting, too, with the fact that I think we're probably still of course, we're in the Algol period here. And then we're going to move on to Gemini in a few days. But we'd look to Venus, and of course, we're going to be seeing media about the fact that a jail was blown up. And so it's kind of crazy there. So this is prisoners. Prisoners, it looks like prisoners are free. Prisoners escape. So that's a good thing. Now, the escape part, where would that be? Well, Uranus means to be liberated. So you can see that around this time frame, which was just a couple of days ago, these prisoners were let go and they were very successful. So I really like that. I mean, hopefully I'm talking about like political prisoners. So now we get into the Gemini time frame between July 1st and probably a little bit into August, maybe August 10th. And this is the fourth house. This is the stability of a country. These are homes. These are domestic things. And looks like some things are happening that are actually positive for Iran. And that's Jupiter in Gemini. So Jupiter rules the 10th house. This is the government. So it looks like the government, the 15th degree is the assassination degree. So we might be hearing about an assassination of some sort if we haven't already. But we have this trine here, which is Aquarius again. So it looks like a huge, huge change for Tehran. And now I'm going to pull a card for this and then I'm going to move on. We'll come back to it. But this has something to do, uh, you know, Donald Trump's son is right in here. So he's part of this. There actually might be some discussions in this time period, some positive discussions between the US and Iran. Maybe it is actually true. So let's pull a card for that. Hey, April. And yeah, Chantal, can you see the karmic tie between Trump and other leaders? There seems to be a bunch. Jen, you said you pulled the Empress and Strength card for Iran. Interesting. So more female energy. And Angel, you got 9 of Wands. Okay, so we're talking about this next month. It does seem like there's luck when you have Jupiter in a house in your solar return for that year, and it's well aspected, which it is. Looks like something's changing, and it's going to change pretty fast. First of all, does this look good for Iran, for the Iranian people, for the Persians this next month? Oh, we got partnerships, lovers, love. And let me get a clarifier card on that. We've got the world reversed. So everything is turning upside down for Iran and the people of Iran, but still, I think could be something positive coming in, and it seems positive for Trump at first. So we're walking down a shaky trail here. Just we can't really see too far ahead. Is something going to backfire for Trump in the next 4 weeks? That's what I'd like to know. King of Wands. Looks like it. Somebody's getting involved. Can we get a clarifier on who's going to have, I don't know. It seems as if there's some contention here. Who is this person that might be getting in the way of this progress for Trump? My God, we've got an emperor. So we've got some super high powered people. And you know who they've got to be. They're the typical players. They are the Iranian allies. So what could these Iranian allies do really in the next 4 weeks as Trump attempts ceasefire and negotiations? What are these Iranian allies, the current Iran regime allies? What could they be up to? Oh, whoa. Oh God. That was weird. Let me see. Ooh, Justice reversed. So I got Ace of Pentacles and Justice reversed. So something new happening, and maybe they want justice. Maybe they want but not the kind of justice that you or I know. It's just kind of shady, or they're not getting justice. So Ace of Pentacles, all about the money. Maybe there are some transfers. People are trying to move some more uranium to Iran. Get the Seven of Swords. Okay. No, she did not, Frida. And I'm putting you in timeout because it's not the time for that. Nora, you said U.S. paid $400 million on the 17th of January 2016, first installment. Yes, good point. Of $1.7 billion settlement, maybe a payout here like $333 million or something like that. Yeah, I love your numbers. That was a shocker back in 2016 and not something I understood. You got Eight of Wands. So yeah, we're all different energy. It might depend on where you are and what country you're pulling from, but I think we have got, I mean, this is China and Russia, I think. Or, I mean, then we've got the Saudis too. So we've got some, this has got to be Saudi because we're talking about kings. I mean, we're literally talking about kings. Insights with Nora. Ace of Pentacles here could be quick money change, possibly even property, something to think about. Which country is the most threatened right now with the current state of affairs? Which country is most threatened? Okay, well, looks like someone by the water, maybe a young country, one of the younger countries, which I guess could be the US. Oh, great. There's a whole storyline that we've got to get through. A lot of it has to do with Pluto, Plutonian things. All right, so I have this here. This is the Iran chart. You know what I like to look at? I like to look at the young people. The fifth house are the state of the young people this year in their solar return chart. And it's in Gemini. These are groups of young people. And so, what do we do now? We're going to look and see where the young people are. Well, they're down here. Down here, you see Mercury? It's retrograde. So they're all confused. Mercury and Pisces, hello. They're probably completely upside down. Maybe, they're smoking the hookah, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But guess what? This looks good for them. This looks good for the young people. It looks like they're leaving. They're leaving and they're going to where they want to go. This is a big exit to a foreign country. This is a bye-bye. And so people who are stuck are able to be free. I mean, that's what it says here to me. And that is especially happening. I guess they're not going to the US, but that's especially happening maybe the last days of June and then coming into maybe the first days of August. So we might be hearing something like that, something about young people, children too, child prisoners, maybe who I mean, is there such a thing in Iran? I'm sure there probably is, but very young prisoners. And take a look at what's next to all of that, Venus. So we're talking about very young females, very, very happy. So that those cards are starting to make sense here. So there's Iran. There's the period I'm talking about between June 1st and through August. But the moon is going to start activating between August and September because it's the Lord of Cancer. And that's when Cancer is going to start coming in, probably August 10th or so, give or take. So what does that mean? We're going to look and see where the moon is. And the moon is right here. Yikes. Okay, so this is Iran's solar return predictive chart. It goes for 1 year from April to April. And this looks bad. This is probably, I mean, what is August? August is the king month. The kings are really, it seems like they're fighting. And it seems pretty nasty because Black Moon Lilith is up here as part of this. So possible some more bombing, but a lot of it too is the second house. So there's some looting maybe that's going on as well. So whenever you see a lot of second house, it's part of two T squares at the very least. One, I think at least two, could be three. This is a lot of money that's just being taken from Iran, because this is the Iran chart, and the second house is the finances. With Aries there, this is a war. This is a war of money, and that they're really fighting about it. It's pretty bad. So that goes through September as well. So, it's Iran. So where's that money going to go? It might go towards military equipment, but it doesn't look like they can get what they want. And the reason I say that is because of part of fortune. You want part of fortune showing a blue line, and this shows kind of like, well, we were supposed to get those tanks and they never showed. Just certain sabotage, maybe some financial sabotage, and of course, there's always the cybersecurity on the table, or cyber attacks. All right, so we're going to get into why are Putin's friends sad. I'm going to look at Putin's chart, and we're also going to look at some of Trump's charts. But that's what I'm seeing in Putin's chart. Now, the 11th house is not just your friends, it's your community, it's your hopes and dreams. And he happens to have Saturn in his 11th. It's not good for Putin. Things can cut off, things that he is setting a goal towards. And there's Shauna. Yes, the Putin pals are pouting, and it seems like it. And TJ's here. Israel took 90 million of Iranian crypto via cyber attack. I did not know that. Is that true? Cyprus was recognized as an independent country in 1960. Young, very interesting. So maybe Cyprus could be a young country that we're talking about here. Yeah, mystic rectangle, intricate weaving. Oh, there's some weaving. And you're really, let's talk about Cyprus for a minute. Cyprus equals 30 and 33, more threes. Let's talk about Cyprus. I'm going to use Anita's cards. And she has these awesome cards. I'm going to put in the description box where to find them. A wonderful, talented artist who is a client and friend of mine. And let me just do this real quick. Let's talk about Cyprus. Is there any trouble with Cyprus because of this conflict in the Middle East in the next 6 months? Got the Fool again. So something's starting. It looks like yes. And the Fool is young. So an innocent party, maybe. Well, let's get a clarifier card. I'm going to use the other cards. Can I get a clarifier card on anything about Cyprus being involved in this at all with this conflict? 5 of Wands. So yeah, it's possible. Looks like a big group here. Maybe trying to figure out, there's a lot of competition for something, but fire signs looks like they're trying to put out some fires maybe. So hopefully not literally. So might be a tough time to visit Cyprus right now or live there. Lucy, you have 3.33 subs. That's crazy. And you get 333, your special number. Isn't it interesting that Putin called to wish Trump happy birthday just before this happened? I know. So it's nuts. Okay. So here's Putin's solar return chart. His solar return started last October, and it's going to go, we're in this time frame right now between June 7th and July 7th. We've got some big news coming up about Putin. You just wait. It's going to happen, I would say, between July 7th and July 15th. That's when his Pluto in his solar return is going to activate. Looks like a huge win and a huge loss. So, really 50-50 here. Pluto shows, I mean, we're going to be seeing these revenge themes, and we're going to be seeing so many different scenarios of how people want to get their own revenge, especially when they know people's weaknesses. That's how they're going to, I mean, it can apply to anybody, just like you and me, or it can apply to world leaders. So let's take a deeper look here. First of all, I put the sun here at 22 because that is Donald Trump's. That's where his sun is. So right here looks like, they work well together, Trump and Putin. It's almost like they're twins. Gemini rules the chart for Putin this year. So when Gemini is well aspected, it means communication. It means, in a way, almost socializing. So it can be very good with those blue lines, but with the red line, it can show trying to steal something because of Gemini being the thief. So there is something that is happening where it looks like somebody is stealing from Putin. So let's consult the cards about this. And this is going to be probably, and here's the Saturn in the 11th house too, which is the friends. So somebody's very, very sad. It could be a friend, it could be Trump. And that's going to be happening probably later in August. Um, there is a thief that Putin is clashing with. I think we know who that is. But can we get any more information on the thief who stops Putin? Who is this thief that stops Putin? I swear that I shuffled Queen of Cups reversed. What? Okay, let's get, is this a female? A female in the mix. Could be a spy. A queen, but see, this is reversed. So maybe somebody who is a thief who is stopped. That's possible. Can you give us more information on who this thief is? Comes in late August for Putin. 10 of Pentacles. So it has something to do with finance, with money. This looks like a lot. So if you were to look at your solar return and you were Putin and you were seeing something like this, you might take a look at that card. Think about if you know any redheads. Think about if you know any older women. Think about who runs the finance department, because something's coming up for him and it really puts an adverse situation in the mix for him. It looks as if there's some money problems. Hard to believe for an oligarch, but seems that's the case. Okay. Now I am going to look a little bit more at this Pluto here. Plutonium, and a square to part of fortune. So it seems as if there is some type of revenge, and that is here's the thing. The 10th house is your government no matter what, if you're running the government or not. And so his government has Pluto right on top of it. And it looks like he really wants to push his regime forward, but it's not doing it. We've got a lot of politicians here. This could be NATO, could be, some of them are bad, some of them are corrupt. But that is weird. Okay, this is strange. This almost looks like there's a lot of people being killed. And that's because of Pluto squaring Chiron. And that's coming up early July with the square to Libra and a square to Chiron in the 12th house. Now, the 12th house is a foreign country, and it kind of is in sync with the USA chart because right around the July timeframe, we're also getting Pluto, but it's in our first house. What are all of these wounds? These are war wounds. It looks like it could be in Moscow. Could it be in Moscow? Um, is there an attack, a really big attack on Moscow in early July? It's either Moscow or he's attacking someone else. I think it might be coming from Ukraine. I really do. And for the most part, though, if you look at Saturn rules the government. And you could see how there's this big trine here, the Grand Trine. I should put that in blue. So normally this would be very good. They're getting their revenge. They're getting money. They're getting somebody else's money. They're fighting and they're winning. This is very good. But something is here that is stopping it. And it's Gemini. It's something small. It could be a small country, could be a thief. The thief is pulling some of this money. But anyway, is something going to happen? I'm going to pull a card for Moscow in early July. Is there going to be some kind of big attack in Moscow in early July? Emperor reversed. Whoa. Does a king fall? And let me get a confirmation card for Moscow. It just seems like there's a lot of fighting in the government building. Could it be the government building? Knight of Cups again. Yep. This is a transformation of the government building. Tell us more about this government building, which would be Capricorn. It's in the 10th house. And looks like there's some kind of big secret coming out. There's a sextile to Neptune from Pluto. Lots of secrets, lots of secrets. Is somebody finding out the secrets of the government? And are we learning more about what's going on behind closed doors? Oh, it's possible. Possible. Some people, another female too. So I wonder if there is a vengeful female in the mix here. And she could be coming in. Here is the vengeful female right there. And normally, though, it would be something positive because of the Grand Trine. I mean, this is his chart, and a Grand Trine means a good thing. But this Pluto is betrayal. We've got Taurus, finances, and we have Libra. So this is a person here. It's a person here. The 6th house is a worker. Ooh, are we talking about a worker that is betraying Putin? That would not be very nice. Are we talking about? I mean, the 6th house is workers. They're servants. Is there something happening that's really adversely affecting Putin? Wow. Looks like yes. Looks like somebody wants justice. What's the profile of this person who wants justice and that it would negatively affect Putin? Oh. And something tempting, something that he's being tempted to do. and it backfires maybe. Can you give us a clarifier card, more information on what is happening with Putin in this July period? This looks like a big one. 4 of Pentacles, so more money and not being able to hold on to it. So it's definitely a betrayal of some sort, maybe some kind of scam. So, which would make sense because Neptune is at the top of his chart right here. And this is scam season for him. And that's going to start in September. Looks like a big scam, but there's something that is sabotaged here. The scam, it's retrograde, so it's kind of, it's not that good. Pluto is also retrograde, not so good. But definitely something coming up. This is the big spy. And yet, once we get till probably about September, between September 7th and September maybe 15th, wow, these people really, they fall. It looks like a bunch of workers to me. Maybe are there lawyers over there? These are the lawyers. The lawyers better run. Let's just say that. And looks like they're all very, very upset and angry. It does not. It looks like a big mess over there to me. But of course, it's all very hidden because it's Pisces. All right. So this is the June 25th progressed house for Donald Trump. Jen, you got the Tower card. Oh my God. Nora, is it possible that USA will become friends with Russia? Sounds crazy, I know, but 9 of Cups, so many cups, so much emotion. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that right now. It certainly does. Yeah, the boat, Ace of Swords. Gemini Mercury could be some sort of military vehicle boat. Ah, yeah, that's possible. The betrayal, maybe using a boat. I don't know. You got the High Priestess. Nora looks like Putin's wife. I don't even know what his wife looks like. Angel, you want to know where Elon has disappeared to? He's in a bad spot right now, I think. What's the situation? Let's get a card for Elon Musk. What is the situation with Elon right now? It's June 25th, 2025. I'm going to get a couple of cards for Elon. Oh, whoa, the Tower. And can I just say something about the Tower? I always say that because it's a big change. It is a big change. But the Tower ends up helping you because all of what you thought you were building was just a facade. All the crap comes down and you're able to rebuild again. So it really can be very good for you when you get the Tower. It's just not that easy, and it can be emotionally painful. So Elon gets the Tower. It's okay. One will survive. All of the inauthentic things fall away. That's what we like about the Tower. Now, let me get one card to clarify the Tower for Elon Musk. 5 of Cups. Looks like he's got some regrets. And one would hope he would regret the last year for him, but I think that's going to be more like he regrets speaking out and speaking out against Trump. I'm sure that's probably it. So let's get a card for Elon for the next 12 months for him. 4 of Pentacles. He's got to deal with his financial situation. So there's a lot of damage control and crisis management going on. Okay. Kimberly, his rocket tower blew up with that missile. That's right. That was a big one. And okay, Nora, thank you for stopping in. Yeah, keep your friends close. And Toy is here. Yeah, the oligarchs, maybe. Okay. Now, Jen, you also pulled the Tower and the Three of Pentacles, the three again. World War III. No, Three of Pentacles is more financial, maybe new partnerships for Elon. Yeah, there are a lot of people who do want to work with him. So all is not lost for him. We root for everyone because they are just stuck in these energetic situations, these situationships. And all right, yeah, money. He's going to have to worry about the money a little bit. So, yeah, Putin does. All right, so let's go to so interesting about looking at this. This is the progress chart for Donald Trump. And look at that basket, and it's dumping everything out. At the moment, you can see why there's so much revenge because of the progressed moon in Scorpio. It's going to be here till next fall, 2026. Then it's going to start to move into Sag. So, really, we're going to see as many revenge plots as you can possibly think of. At the moment, the moon in Scorpio is squaring Pluto, which is let's see, getting revenge times a million. But at the same time, it is also betrayals. So as we see him trying to get revenge, he will also be in turn betrayed. And so you're going to be seeing that betrayal energy as well. Um, Now, the moon is going to start coming in. It's going to apply to Mercury. And Mercury is what you're thinking. And Mercury, when you're going to square that moon in Scorpio, he's going to have even more revenge on his mind. And so that's going to be in the next 12 months. So it's just, that's the way it is, unfortunately. Interesting how the last 2 years, everyone's thinking about how this administration is so much different than the last one. Well, his rising sign was in Libra before, and now it's in Scorpio as of about 2 years ago. So he is a whole different type of personality, persona. He's got that Scorpio. Everybody sees him as, somebody who shouldn't be messed with. There's a lot of fear involved. And Pluto, right? It's the rising. Well, the rising sign is Pluto. The Lord of Pluto, the Lord of Scorpio is Pluto, and right next to Saturn, that is someone who is feared. Lots and lots and lots and lots of fear. So unfortunately, it goes both ways because there is some fear that comes in for Trump himself. We've already seen that with the assassination attempts. And so that can be also very difficult. But this is how his chart is right now. And you could call this let's say the seventh house is Melania. So Venus is over here. She's in the 12th house. Looks like she's living her best life. Nobody can see her. And even he can't see her because when Venus, or your seventh house lord, also Venus for men, is the wife. When they're in the 12th, well, you can't see them either because they're gone. Maybe I don't know what she's doing. A lot of Libra things, a lot of luxury. She's very busy with the luxury right now. And she's available for him when he needs her. Now, this is Trump's solar return chart. We just started on his birthday, and we're right around, let's see, June 25th. We went from Mercury to Venus. So Venus is activating at the moment. So we go and try to find where Venus is, and that's right here in the 8th house. It looks tough. It looks tough because Venus is squaring Pluto. And there's talks of assassination. We always talk about this when we're talking about Trump and politics, but there is some type of, this could be a female, but we've got Venus squaring Pluto. So this is coming in now. It could also come in, let's see, that's October 14th, October 20th. And we'd also see it, this is January. maybe sometime in late January. But he has to there might be talk. There already has been talk about how, the Middle East, they're coming after Trump. So at this point, what does Venus mean? In the 8th house here of transformation, death, real estate, taxes, it looks really difficult. This doesn't look like a ceasefire to me. It does not. Are we talking about it's June 25th right now. Are we talking about the ceasefire failing in the next 2 weeks? Let's see. Um, Ceasefire and Trump next 2 weeks. This looks bad. This looks like more bombs. I'm sorry. I mean, it could be anywhere. It could be Ukraine, Russia, but we're talking about Iran and Israel right now. What's happening in the next 2 weeks? Ace of Cups. Okay, love fest, but let's get a clarifier card for that. Yeah, Bibi does not honor ceasefires. We've seen that before. Thank you, Angel D, for reminding everyone. And Trump and Putin in their 70s. Thanks. Yeah, 79 and 72. Sarat Garcia, I'm going to ask that question, but let's get a clarifier card. What's happening in the next 2 weeks between Israel and Iran? So far, that's a pretty good card. 4 of Pentacles. So maybe there's a financial deal, but it that looks really good, but the chart does not. The chart does not, because we are in this Venus period. I mean, this is money. This is money. It might be a real estate deal that is not working. So yeah, maybe they're talking about it, but mm-mm. And then there's also a poor aspect to the sun, which is his body. Uranus represents his health this year. We're going to have some ninth house. We're going to see some stuff about his health because Uranus rules the 6th house of health for him this year and squaring Mars. So that's not for a little bit, but we're starting to see these reports. Now with Venus here, this is also relationship. So again, this could be Melania. We talked about that before. So we're in real Melania territory. Maybe he wants her to be somewhere and she's like, hell no, I'm not going. What's going on with Melania in the next 2 weeks? Doesn't look very enjoyable. Well, yes, she's in that 12th house in his progress chart. She's comfortable. She's safe. She's in a safe place. And a clarifier card for Melania in the next 2 weeks. Okay, so doing okay. Doing okay. She's happy about something. So I'm wondering why I'm getting this. It looks odd to me. Okay, it looks like there's an announcement actually. Okay, well, Mercury is an announcement. Venus is activating. Maybe has she already announced something? I don't know. Sextile to the 10th house. It looks like she's receiving something. It almost seems to me to keep her happy. Every time Trump negotiates a deal for himself, he involves her as well. So she's equally as happy because that helps him. So maybe that's something that's happening right now. She is overjoyed. I'm not sure. Could be something. Of course, that's barren too because of all of the crypto that he's making. Yeah. So that's July. Then what's coming in here is Pluto, and that's going to be mid-July to the end of August. We've got some stuff happening here. Well, let's look at the 3rd house. What's on this person's mind? That's what you're going to see in the solar return chart. And of course, it's in Scorpio. Pluto's in the 5th house. There's some serious family family discord here. There's jealousy and betrayal coming up. I wonder if this has to do with Kimberly Guilfoyle. Would that make any sense? She's too smart for that, but I think. Let's we haven't heard that name in a while, but what's up with Kimberly? What's up with Kimberly? That fifth house, that Pluto. She's in Greece now, so who wants to be? I mean, I shouldn't say that, but what's going on with Kimberly? Whoa, she might be turning. Look at this, Ace of Wands reversed. Whoa, I got a bunch of cards. Okay. All right. She is mulling a decision. Now look at this. Two of Pentacles. Should I do this? Should I do that? This has to do with money, of course. We've got a sisterhood. Her friends are supporting her. And Three of Pentacles reversed. So I don't know, maybe it's a group that she's aligned herself with that isn't working out the way that she planned. But I don't know. Now, Sarit Garcia, do you see Trump being in office all 4 years? His progressed house shows a lot of difficulty with it. Still possible, but let's look at the cards. See what the cards have to say about Trump. Will Trump stay in office the full term? Eight of Cups reversed. Whoa. Breaking news from Undercover Astrologer. Tell us more. Tell us more. Will Trump be in office? And I'm assuming you mean Trump and not Putin. You can't really call that an office where Putin is. I was in Moscow, and it's quite an. It's so like it's like 1950s Austin Powers type of. I don't know. Have any of you visited Moscow? The government buildings. It's kind of like. It just seems like something out of a movie. It looks old, but yet still impressive. But anyway, what was I asking about Trump? Give us a clarifier card for if he's going to be in office the next 4 years. I think it might have something to do with his health. The Hierophant. So that's a religious leader. Can we get a clarifier card on that? That might be visiting someplace up high above Trump and the next 4 years. Two of Swords. So I don't know, maybe stuck in the middle of something, being tied up. Let's just say this. It does look like he doesn't have too many choices, or the choices that he wants in these next years of his administration. He does look bound. So may or may not be good news, depending on what you think about that. Yeah, I know. Stairway to Heaven. Invitation to Windsor Castle in September this year. Thank you, Angel. And let's pull a card on Trump and his invitation to Windsor Castle in September. We should look at Trump's solo return, but let's look at the card. How is this meeting going to go? They both want it to go very well. A lot of money, eye-popping amount of money. And a clarifying card on the outcome of the meeting between Trump and King Charles. The Wheel. So it looks pretty good. He wants to align himself with England. And very, very complicated because Putin is not going to like that. Now, let's take a look at November. September. So Windsor Castle. I don't know when he's going to go. Is it early September or later September? Jupiter is up here in the 10th house. So that's going to be early September. And then later on in September, then Saturn starts to activate. So it's here. Um, let's see here. Yeah, something gets stuck here. Well, Sag usually means travel. So he's way, way up there. Yeah, it looks like it's between September 1st and maybe September 20th. Would that make sense? And okay. Kimberly, so funny. Kremlin built in 1495. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be old then. I don't know. Maybe I looked at, but I don't think they had those materials in 1495. It must have been renovated when I saw it. You've got, okay, let's look it up. When is Trump visiting Windsor? In September? They have not been announced. So it seems like it's going to be earlier than later. So yeah, he's way, 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 way up at the top there. And what is he doing? Of course, he's talking. Not only is he talking, but he's having a very nice conversation with this person over here, the king. And it almost looks like a group of royals. So probably going to meet a bunch of them. Prince William's going to make nicey nice. But oh yeah, and here's Putin here. Woo, he does not like that. Doesn't like it. It's almost like he wants to stop him. Putin wants to stop him from going. He's doing whatever he can. Look at how there's this T-square here. Right there. Trump is here. This is what's going to be activated. Does not like it. So how does Putin try to stop the visit with Donald Trump? Maybe there's going to be some kind of distraction that happens to try to get Donald Trump from visiting Windsor. Is there going to be some kind of something Putin's doing? Whoa, there's Prince William, the magician. Yeah, maybe trying to weave some kind of potion. And will Putin be successful in maybe trying to sabotage this meeting? No, he will not. Okay. So, but there's something in the works, I think. There's something in the works there. And the reason I say that is because that T-square, it's like, please do not go there. Or there's something that takes his attention right before he goes to Windsor. There could also be a health issue as well. So he can't be stumbling on the stairs now, which is what Biden was doing right as we started to see Biden kind of fall from grace a bit, if that's the best way to say it. All right. So yeah, we really get into the really, like, it's before, thank God, it's before he goes to Windsor that all the revenge starts to happen. This looks like the most intense part of the revenge during this period, which would be mid-July to end of August, and then again right probably end of October once Pluto activates. But this is a real nasty one. 8 degrees. This is a death. I mean, I'm afraid to say, with all the Scorpio, and Biden had a lot of Scorpio, and we talked way back in the day about how that means prostate cancer. So, are we talking about something that Trump is going to be experiencing with regard to health this summer? Yeah, judgment, maybe. Something, can you give us some information about Trump's health the next 2 months. It looks like could be something scorpionic, might be something that he's having to address. 7 of Pentacles. So, usually a good card, but maybe something small that he's got to tackle there. From what they're talking about, it doesn't seem small, but those cards aren't terrible, at least in the next 2 months. So, yeah, Charles does as well. So Charles, so scorpionic, Biden as well. So it would not surprise me if we saw more, more like news about someone else with that prostate cancer. So thank you, Raymond. Yes, everybody hit the like button. And if you're interested in a reading, you can always go to my website and I've got $20 off astrologywithval.as.me. And I'm going to be adding some new dates this week too. So definitely check that out. And okay, TJ, thank you. Comes in threes. Isn't Trump going to Scotland for the golf championship? Yes. Okay. When is the golf championship? Trump golf championship. And golf is so Leo, too. Let's see. I don't see a date here. Only how he wins a lot of the games. Okay, so it's the DP World Tours Scottish Championship and Aberdeenshire. And that is, or did that already happen? I don't see a date. Not sure. But yeah, so golf would be so Leo. Let's take a look. Now, you like to take a look at your home sometimes when you're looking at your own solar return chart. So we're going to look at the 4th house, and that's Jupiter right here. And so there's some issues here. This could be the White House. There might be protesters. It looks like something's happening here with the White House, and that starts to activate right after the Scorpio season of revenge and betrayal. Right as he's visiting Windsor, maybe when he's over Windsor. But these are kind of like, these could be vets. These could be like military vets. There's something, I think this might have something to do with the White House, is what I'm seeing with that square to Jupiter ruling this time period between, I'd say mid-August to about September 20th. Is there something happening at the White House? Oh my God. I got a bunch. Let's see what they say. We've got 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups, lots of cups, 5 of Wands, Death, and 7 of Pentacles. So it seems like a lot of stuff's going to go on during this time period. I always see 7 of Pentacles like Zelensky, so it's probably something coming up with him. We just have a ton of people who are on fire. So quite a bit of chaos, especially in the August time period. And of course, that's the Leo time frame. So it's going to be a difficult period, especially for, it seems like, Washington. The Scottish despise F-45, which must be difficult for him if that's the case. He wants to make some money over there. And thank you, Kimberly. Please hit the thumbs up. And okay. Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what I think about that. It kind of freaks me out a little bit. 'Cause it's like, it's a little jarring. Oh my God. Toy. A great, great song. How did that get in the conversation? Oh my god. Okay, and you guys would be fun in Vegas. We should have like a shouldn't we have like a Vegas meeting? Maybe like 4 days, do some cards, some gambling, some shows, of course. And, all right, so let me go back to his progressed again. And so you see the 4th house is in Aquarius here, and this is really it's an earthquake. It is an earthquake in his home. Now, it does mean moving too. So that's what he did in the over the past 6 years or so, he's had to move back and forth with his home. It's up, down, up, down. But we're seeing these really tough aspects here too. And yet we see some nice aspects, which is the blue lines. So that's the real estate, that's the crypto. Um, so yeah, it's something he's going to have to deal with here. This is the 12th house of foreign lands. He's got to be careful. Uh, There are some plans. I think there's some plans for his home. I really do. Let's talk about Mar-a-Lago for a little bit. I want to read the cards. Of course, we don't want anything to happen to anyone's home. But I want to know, is there anything where there should be concern or maybe extra security for Mar-a-Lago? Let's talk about Mar-a-Lago and this current political climate. Ace of Wands, okay. That's not bad. Yeah. Lucy. It's so funny. Yeah, I think she told us, Angel. Pretty yikes progressed. Exactly, Lucy. Angel, I'm glad you told me that because I actually forgot. Linda, you're in for Vegas. Oh yeah. Just maybe get a couple of sweets, and we'll have a summit. We'll have a mundane astrology and tarot summit. I like the Aria. The Aria that they've got the best beds. Oh, they're like clouds. And I also like Caesars too, but not the Cosmopolitan. Now, one more card for Mar-a-Lago. In the next 6 months, how are we doing with Mar-a-Lago? It's probably well secure, but it is. I mean, we're seeing Aquarius here, which means to move. 5 of Pentacles. Um, maybe just it's a lot of money to have to secure this place. That is despair. It's not a great card. There's a sadness. Why is there sadness with Mar-a-Lago? Just a big headache. There was an article that just came out today, I think. I think it was the Journal, Wall Street Journal, and they were talking, I'm not sure if it was the Journal, but they were talking about how all the young Trumpsters are in Palm Beach and how all of the older locals are just a little discombobulated about it. So Magalardo. I never even thought about that. That's so funny that there's MAGA's in there. That's weird. Just now with that comment just occurred to me. Kimberly. And Kimberly, you're down for the trip. Okay. As long as there's an IV hookup for electrolytes, I think there's a lot of them actually. I think they specialize in it. Okay. So yeah, maybe it's a storm or something. It's possible. There's so much Aquarius in the USA solar return chart in a kind of like a poor aspect. And Fort Lauderdale is Aquarius. So there could be some storms coming through there in the next couple of months. So We will have to see, but, he's gotten through a lot of things. He's the bull in the china shop. That's Trump. Did anyone notice that DC is not showing on the map for Washington, or am I crazy? What? I'm gonna have to check that out. Wheel of Fortune clarification. Um, Angel. I know. We're all saving money. There's no Vegas in the immediate future, so don't get excited unless we get a sponsor. And yeah, Toy, you're like, really? There's no Washington, D.C.? Let's look at this. Washington, I mean, this is something we're gonna have to check. Washington, D.C., and we're gonna go to the map. And you're talking about Google Maps? It's showing up for me. Maybe somebody doesn't want you to see it. But you guys are gonna have to check. So Shauna. Oh my God, that is so nice of you, really, to take one for the team. That is something. I'm not gonna show that comment. So yeah. Oh, on MapQuest. It's funny, we're not talking about the Gulf of America anymore. That's kind of like in the past now. So we're on to, I guess, world wars. I think it's going to be going back and forth, just like Ukraine and Russia. But I did want to ask one more question before I go. Anytime I think of a nuclear war, I think of aliens and how there's the theory that there's somebody up there that always keeps things on the up and up when it comes to nuclear threats. So, are we looking at maybe somebody looking over the situation, the nuclear situation that we don't know about and that could be helping? It's weird. I never get 2 of Pentacles, and I got them twice tonight. So, so maybe there are two entities. Tell us a little bit more about the nuclear threat and how maybe there's somebody or some entity that is keeping an eye on this situation that could help. Empress reverse. So 2 reversed cards. Plutonian, 2 females. I don't know. I'm not getting anything. What are you guys getting? Are they going to marry Baron off to a royal? Wouldn't they love that? I know, Astrocast. I'm going to do another one tomorrow too. I'm going to finally do my crypto one, and Wills will be king soon. Yeah. Oh, I believe you, Shauna. If there's no Washington in MapQuest, that's definitely the case. It's just go to Google. I never use MapQuest. And you're on stalker alert. Oh my God. Oh yeah, the big beautiful map. Okay. You guys are so funny. And yes. So crypto. Jen, you got Knight of Swords. So maybe somebody is helping tamp down some of this, threat, I guess. Escalation, that's the word I'm looking for. So, all right. And I guess I'll ask one more question. Let's get some good news for the rest of this week. Can we get some great news that's coming in for the world between now and Sunday? Ooh, full moon. Not really, but something about women. Can we get a clarifier card about females? Good news. We're getting good news. Could be romance. If you're watching this, you're going to get some good news. And let me get another clarifier card. What does this have to do with females and good news this week between now, June 25th, and Sunday? The Magician. Oh, maybe we get more pictures of Will. This is the Will card, Prince William. But something with magic. Let's see. Magician. So maybe something that has to do with entertainment, or maybe women having magical powers. So, what kind of magical powers will these women have this week? Basically, we can do anything. So, set your mind to whatever it is. Like, imagine there were no obstacles, none. Money, power, transportation, family issues. Think about all of them. There's no obstacles. What do you want to do? That's what this is telling me. One more card that has to do with the good news that's coming. Four of Cups reverse. That's very good. That means the decision's over. It's time to act. You got an open road. I know. Do you believe in magic? I do. Yes. Witchy vibes. All your cards just fell. That's all the bad cards fell. And or maybe we want the good cards falling. My deck just said it's not playing anymore. It wants to go back to talking about love and gossip. But I think this is really great. It's so funny asking about good news, and we get really good cards. So if you're female, if you're making a decision this week, go for it. Do it. If you're thinking about starting a new job, starting a new relationship, just life is simple. Just do it. So, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your day.